Alright guys, so welcome to our first feedback day. Alright, so with feedback day, I will invite a student just like you, someone who's studying for the Ielts test, and I'm going to do a speaking test with this person, okay? And with the speaking test, okay, why is it so important? I mean, why is it feedback day? Because guys, you need feedback, all right? Especially when it comes to the writing part and the speaking part of the Ielts test, okay? So I feel that feedback is what will get you your score, okay? So feedback is of extremely importance, and that's why we are here today, okay? And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Fabi. I'm an English teacher here in Brisbane, Australia. I'm originally from Brazil, but I live here in Brisbane, and I teach English here at colleges and also some universities here in Brisbane. And what I do most of my time is help people get the score they need on the Ielts test, and the test only once. So let's get started. So today I'm going to talk to Sarah. Sarah, are you there?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Yeah. I don't know why, Sarah. Cats love my lessons.
I'm a cat lover.
You're a cat lover. Okay, yeah. So it's funny because every time I'm teaching online, if the person has a cat, the cat comes in front of the camera all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All right, Sarah. So tell me a little bit. So your name is Sarah, and you are from Colombia, and you live in Colombia, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Yeah. And why are you doing the Ielts test?
I am trying to immigrate to United States to work as a nurse there.
Because you're a nurse at the moment in Colombia, right?
Yeah, that is the reason that I am wearing white clothes.
Your uniform.
Yeah, I just arrived from my work, I think 15 minutes ago, something like that.
Oh, yeah. And how long have you been working as a nurse?
I have been working as a nurse for 14 years. Yeah.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And you would like to be a nurse in the United States also?
Yeah. That is the idea. I am trying to go there and maybe look for another opportunities there.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah. Here in Australia, if you want to be a nurse, you need a very high score on the Ielts test.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit difficult, the process there. As I know about that process is a little bit different, the process that you have to do to go to United States.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it's a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Australia, they are very specific in their system, but it's very clear the way they explain things very well, but you need a few requirements. Yeah. But Australia is very good. I really enjoy Australia. All right, cool. And are you going to do the academic or general test?
The academic. Yeah.
And what score do you need?
I need overall 6.5, and in speaking I need 7. That is a high score.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all the other parts can be 6.5, but speaking you need a 7. Okay, and have you done the test before?
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times.
Actually.
Okay, and your problem has been speaking, right?
Yeah, I'm stuck in that in 6.5.
Okay.
I'm stuck there.
Mm-hmm. And when the first time you did the test, what did you get for speaking? The first time, do you remember?
The last test, or
the first test you did, the Ielts test.
Okay, 1 year ago. 1 year ago.
And
on January 2020. But in that time, I didn't study much to the test. Then I got 6 on speaking in that time. Then I try again on October, and I get 6.5. And I'm stuck in that score.
Okay, stuck in the 6.5. Okay, today we're going to unstuck you. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
All right, okay. So before I do speaking tests with my students, I usually ask them is there anything you'd like me to pay attention to? Because sometimes you think, oh, maybe my grammar is not very good, or maybe my fluency is not very good. Is there anything you'd like me to pay attention to?
I think I'm hesitating all the time. And the other problem that I have is maybe the grammar, the organization of my speech is a little bit difficult because I use, even though I know a lot of vocabulary, I use the same all the time. I use easier words all the time, and I think I have to improve the level of my vocabulary.
Okay, all right. So hesitation, grammar, accuracy, and then maybe improve vocabulary. All right. Okay, cool. Do you have a piece of paper and a pen with you? Go grab one.
Yeah.
You need it to take some.
Give me 1 second.
No worries. All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Ready? Okay, let's go. So, hi, my name is Fabiana, and I'm going to be your examiner today. What is your name?
My name is Sara Gamboa.
And where are you from, Sarah?
I am from Medellin, that is a city located in Colombia, in South America.
Okay. And do you enjoy your hometown?
Yeah, I really love it. It's a very good place to live because the weather is amazing.
So what's the weather like?
Today, for example, is a little bit boiling hot because these days have been a little bit difficult for us related with weather because all the time is hotter, and we are not accustomed to have that kind of weather here because most of the time is like more cool than hot.
Okay, all right. And do you prefer the colder weather or the warmer weather?
I prefer cold weather actually because I could do exercise better because when you are maybe working out in a hot weather, it's a little bit difficult for your heart and you feel more exhausted doing exercise in hot weather.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about keeping in contact with people. Okay, my first question is, how do you usually contact your friends? Why?
Okay. My close friends are a little. I don't have a lot of friends, but I try to be in touch with them every single week. And actually, we have a WhatsApp group, and we are talking all the time using that amazing resource. I think in that case, technology is a good resource to be in touch with the people that you love.
Okay. All right. Cool. Next question. Do you prefer to contact different people in different ways? Why?
Yeah, I think yes because it depends on the person that you are contacting. I mean, for example, in my personal experience as a nurse, is if I have to be in touch with any patient or something like that, I prefer more formal kinds of ways of communication. But if I am trying to contact my family or my friends, it's easier to use social media, WhatsApp, phone, call phone, that kind of things.
Okay, next question. Do you find it easy to keep in contact with friends and family? Why not?
To be honest, I think yes, but sometimes due to our busy lives, it's a little bit difficult, especially during the week. On weekends, everybody is free, and maybe you could call them and schedule an appointment, and it could be easier at the time.
Okay, one more question. In your country, did people in the past keep in contact in the same way as they do today? Why not?
Okay, let me think a little bit about it. I think no. Right now, as I told you before, I think it's easier. But maybe 10 years ago, or maybe 20 years ago, people had to use letters or another kind of ways to communication, and the communication could take more time because send a letter to another part or another country, another city, it takes some time and it could be a little bit difficult in that time.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Now we're going to move on to part 2 of the test. Okay. And do you have paper and pen with you? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you what you're going to talk about.
Okay.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like you to describe a party that you enjoyed. Okay. You have 1 minute to prepare. Are you ready to start preparing?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You can start. You have 1 minute to prepare. All right, Sarah, are you ready to start speaking?
I am ready.
You can start.
Okay, today I would like to describe a party that I enjoyed the most. I think it was maybe 5 years ago. It was the 19th birthday of my grandma. It was made in a social club here in Medellin and was an amazing space to share with my family, with my entire family, because we live here in Medellin, in another towns that are near to Medellin, but we don't see each other frequently. Then in the time, it was very, very good because all the family, my close family, were to that party, and we could share as a family and as a group, and maybe we could be with my grandma in the last years that she had. It was amazing because it was in a social club that was so fancy, and I could see fancy people, and I could ate a lot of amazing food that I haven't tried before. And we as a family dance and take pictures together, and maybe we could collect amazing memories for the future. In that time, my grandma was so grateful to see all the family together, sharing together, and maybe doing everything to make her happy. And for us was so regarding to see that on her. What else? I could share too.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. And but you said it was a party for your grandmother, okay? So in your family, do people usually have big parties for family members?
Not too much. Actually, we just have that kind of parties in special occasions, like my grandmother's birthday.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Now we're going to move on to part 3 of the test, okay, where we're going to be talking about family parties, okay? My first question is, what are the main reasons why people organize family parties in your country?
Here is so common to organize that kind of parties because families here in Colombia are very, very unique. They are together all the time, and they try to do every single occasion something special. Then we try to have close family here in our country.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 1 second. All right, cool. Next question. In some places, people spend a lot of money on parties that celebrate special events. Is this ever true in your country? Do you think this is a good trend or a bad trend?
In my personal opinion, I think it depends on the kind of party do you want to have or the kind of special day that you want to celebrate. For example, here it's so common to celebrate 15th in younger girls. And I think it's an amazing trend because it's like a transition in your age, and you could share with your family, with your friends, and you could understand that you are changing your age, and you are living an age that will never have to return to you.
Okay. All right. Next question. Are there many differences between family parties and parties given by friends? Why do you think this is?
Okay, I think there are very different because maybe when you're with your family, you are a little bit more timid to be a party person or to dance or maybe to yell and demonstrate that you are a happy person. But when you are with your friends, you could be more like outgoing, I think. You could share with them without any fear to be judged. And maybe you could dance and maybe drink alcohol and be the person that you want in that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How are you feeling?
Okay. It was
Good?
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult. I was so nervous.
Like, don't be nervous. You know what's coming, Sarah. You know which part of the test. You don't have to be nervous. You know the test.
Of course.
Okay. So, what about the question? What do you think of part 1? The questions about keeping in contact with people.
I think it was a good one. I didn't practice that kind of question before, but the most difficult part was the part of the weather because I couldn't remember how to explain
Okay,
my
we'll talk about
sensations in
that.
the weather.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
I was searching in my mind.
Yeah, for example, yeah. So you're telling me that you think that your vocabulary is a little bit poor sometimes, right? You forget some words. Okay. So for example, you use good a lot. Like, what's Medellin like? Oh, it's a very good place. What else can you say instead of good?
Sorry.
Yeah. So for example, when I asked you about Medellin, okay,
Yeah.
you said that it's a very good place. What else can you say?
What else I said?
Yeah, oh, it's very good. It's very good. Maybe you can say, oh, it's an amazing place. It's a pleasant place to live in. You know, it's quite something. Okay, so maybe avoid the good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said that it's a little bit boiling hot. Okay,
It's
when we
just
say,
boiling hot.
yeah, boiling hot is kind of extreme. So if you say a little bit, it's a little bit funny. Okay.
Like a,
You can just say it's boiling hot.
yeah.
And one thing that you do sometimes is you change things in the order of the things in the sentence. For example, you say it is all the time hotter, and you said where is it? Do very specific occasions with my friends. So you have to, for example, I'm just gonna give you one example because I think this one is clear. You say all the time hotter. All the time is what we call a time expression. And in English, usually time expressions will come at the end.
Okay.
It's hot all the time. Okay, so maybe just keep in mind every time you're going to use a time expression, take it to the end of the sentence. You can use it in the beginning in English, but usually it's at the end of the sentence. Okay. And then you made like a silly mistake. You said more cooler.
Yeah.
Okay, so just pay attention when you're going to compare things. Okay.
Okay.
And then, question for you. When you are speaking, do you sometimes pause a little bit to think of better vocabulary? Yes or no?
Yeah, but I think that I am a little bit anxious and I am talking all the time. So I try to talk fast. Then
So,
it is, I think, a big mistake because
yeah.
I can process my.
Okay, so let me tell you something. Okay, so let me tell you something. To me, I feel that you are quite fluent. Okay, you don't have a problem with fluency. Okay, but I feel that when you made mistakes, I feel that it was because you were trying to say something better. Okay, because you pause a little bit and not like I'm speaking, then I pause a little bit and I think about something else, and then what I say it might be with mistakes. Okay, because you have very good vocabulary, but I feel that this vocabulary comes out naturally. So it's funny because, in my opinion, you have to relax a little bit more. Okay, you have to relax a little bit more, and what you have to do is just say things naturally, because I felt that when you were trying to say something that was better, you got stuck. But
Okay.
you had really good vocabulary. Like, for example, the question, what was the last question? Yeah. In your country, did people in the past keep in contact in the same way? You said, oh, let me think a little bit about it. Oh, yeah. It's an interesting question because blah, 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 blah. And as I told you before, that's a great thing to say. As I told you before, and then you said more formal, and then you talk about the question, how can I keep in contact? So is it easy to keep in contact with friends and family? And then you said, oh, due to our busy lives. That's so good. That's a 7. Okay. But then I felt that it was quite natural. But every time you tried to say something a little bit better, wasn't that natural, because I think your English is already pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. But to me, one thing that you have to pay attention to, pay extra attention to the question. Because the first question was, how do you usually contact your friends? Do you remember your answer?
No.
No?
I
You
talk
said,
about WhatsApp and social media and.
yeah, but first you talked about how often
Okay, yeah.
instead of how. So it's funny because you said, yes, I keep in touch with them like a lot, often, but the answer was how. And you said that later, which
Okay.
was okay. So pay extra attention. So I feel that when people have problems with um, answering the question, pay attention to the first few words. So how do you usually, not how often, how do you contact? Okay. So pay attention to the first words. Okay. The second one was very good. Do you prefer to contact different people in different ways? That was very good. Okay. And do you find it easy to keep in touch? It was very good. Okay. And one mistake that you made a few times. Okay. Do you know the word can, could, should? These words? They are modal verbs, right? And after modal verbs, we never change the verb. Always infinitive. And you said could takes. Could take. Okay? Could take. It's more than enough. Okay? But part 1 was good, was pretty good. Okay? Then part 2. How old was your grandmother?
I thought it after I tell you.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what you said. You said this. I'm gonna write in the message here. That was your grandmother's age. Her
No, of
19th
course not.
birthday.
I'm 25 then.
It's
Of course
her
not.
90th birthday. 90th, like this. I'm like, oh, very young grandmother. 90th. So you said 19th is 90th. So can you just say 90?
Yeah, 90th.
Just
90th.
repeat. 90,
90,
90,
90,
90th.
90th.
Yeah. Now say 19,
19,
19th.
90.
That's good. Okay, yeah, so be careful, okay? Because I know your grandmother's not 19. Okay,
But
yeah.
I could notice when I told that number, I thought, oh my goodness.
Okay. So, Sarah, if you make a mistake, what do? Correct yourself.
Okay.
To me, I feel that if we make a mistake and we correct ourselves, it's not a mistake anymore. That's my impression. Okay, that's my opinion. And then you covered all the parts. Okay, let me just show you again very quickly here. Okay, so you covered all the parts, my opinion. Everything was there. Okay, you covered everything. It was no problem. Okay, and at the end, you said, oh, what else can I say? It's okay. But then we had 5 seconds left. Okay, and just remember to keep talking. Keep talking. Because if you finish early, what does the examiner do?
Let me more.
Keep talking. They don't do anything. Yeah, exactly. They go, more, please. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you did very well. I think you covered all the parts. Okay. And then you talked about close family. Okay. You described it quite well, I felt. You said there were fancy people there. What do you mean by fancy people?
Like elegant, I don't know. So cool people with a lot of money, maybe wealthy people.
Okay. So that's what you meant. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. And and you said that you tried food that you haven't tried before. Maybe you could have said that I had never tried before. Okay. So in part 2, usually we will need the past. Because in part 2 they will be they will be asking you to talk about things that happened, right? Talk about things that happened. So for part 2, if you want to do something, I think maybe it'd be a good idea to revise the past, especially past perfect, because you could have used more past perfect in part 2. Maybe that will help you improve your score. Okay. Now, one reason I think you're not getting a 6.5, okay, is because you are getting stuck when you try to use better vocabulary. I think you should be more natural, okay, more natural. You were very natural in part 2 when you're talking about your grandmother's birthday. That was very nice. That was a very good part in my opinion, okay. And if you want a high score, you should do very well in part 3, okay? And to do well in part 3, we have to have, I'm not gonna say long answers, but we have to spend some time in our answers, okay? So the first question was, what are the main reasons why people organize family parties in your country? Do you remember your answer?
No.
Don't remember. Okay. So you said a few things, okay, but you didn't explain.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you again, and I would like you to try. So for example, the question is, what are the main reasons? So maybe more than one. Remember, pay attention to the beginning of the question, okay? What are the main reasons, okay, why people organize family parties in your country? Go.
Okay. I think that the main reasons are because we are so close here. We try to maintain all the time good relations with our families. And for us, it's very, very important to be in touch all the time. It is part like our culture, our last experiences is the way that we have to maintain future generations together during the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a little bit better, yeah. But you could have said birthdays.
Yeah.
You could have said weddings. Okay, so maybe you could start with what I mean is, oh yeah, weddings, birthdays, national celebrations, because we like to stay together as a family. So can you see you missed a little bit? Maybe that's why you're not getting a 7.
Okay.
Okay, now for example, the next one. In some places, people spend a lot of money on parties. Is this ever true in your country? You didn't really talk about the money. Do you remember talking about the money or no?
No, I talk about a birthday party on the 15th.
Yes. Okay, so, and listen to this question. I'm going to repeat the question, okay? So, in some places, people spend a lot of money on parties that celebrate special family events. Is this ever true in your country? Do you think this is a good trend or a bad trend? This is a very long question. Very long question, okay? So, what can you do when you have a very long question?
Sorry?
What can you do when you have a long question?
A long question.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I have to try to answer all the question and give reason indeed.
You can ask the examiner to repeat it for you. Okay?
Okay.
So this one has a statement and 2 questions. So it is quite long. Sometimes I feel like, oh my God, it's never going to end. Imagine you. So if you feel that, because I think that you missed parts of the question. So when you get a long question like this, just ask the examiner to, sorry, can you repeat please? And the examiner is not going to be surprised because this is a very long one. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you again and try to answer, okay, covering all the parts, please, okay? So in some places, people spend a lot of money on parties that celebrate special family events. Is this ever true in your country? Do you think this is a good trend or a bad trend?
Okay, in my country, we spend as family a lot of money doing events. It is because we want to be every single occasion and a special moment for us, and we try to maybe go to a social club and when using or having good food for all our guests, and we try to give to them the best memories that we can. Then it is so expensive, and actually, I think it's not a good trend because that money that you spend, maybe in that kind of parties, you could use it for maybe do a trip with your family and collect better memories because you are knowing a new country, a new place, and it could be more interesting than just spend a lot of money in people that you maybe don't know so well.
That's a 7. That's a 7. Can you see you covered all the parts of the question? Okay, in some place people spend a lot of money. Oh yes, is this true in my country? It happens all the time. We spend the money, da 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 da. And then you said, oh, I think this is a bad trend because you could be spending the money on something else. Spend money on, preposition on. Okay, spend money on. Okay, yeah. So that's a 7. See, you can do a 7. You can. Yeah. Okay. So my main advice for you is, okay, oh, you were asking me about hesitation. Not a lot of hesitation. You're okay. You're pretty okay with hesitation, okay? So my main advice for you is be more natural. Be more natural, I mean, don't think too much about your vocabulary and don't think too much about your grammar yet. Okay, so just try to flow because I feel that you make mistakes when you stop to make it better. Your English is pretty good, okay? And I do feel that when we are more natural, like when you're talking about your grandmother's birthday, it was very natural because it's something that really happened to you. So I felt that you used good vocabulary because it was flowing and it was quite natural. Okay, first thing. Second thing is pay extra attention to the question. Okay, because you are not going to be able to get a 7 if you don't cover all parts of the question.
Okay.
Okay, make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah. Thank you. The opportunity was very, very good. It was amazing.
Thank you. And
In the moment, I think like, I don't know how to say that, but I learned some things that maybe I didn't thought before. I didn't think before, and it is very interesting to maybe receive that kind of feedback about the person that is an expert in that topic. And I think that is the most important part with this test. More than study, you have to receive feedback to improve your score, your vocabulary, your grammar, because you couldn't maybe don't you sorry you maybe won't notice your mistakes doing by yourself. You need help. That is the clue of this, or the key of this kind of test.
I couldn't agree more, Sarah. And from all the people I've been helping, okay, they do say that. They say that, oh my God, I didn't know about this, about my English. And sometimes it's not just the English. Sometimes people just improve themselves as a person because they get so anxious and then they get over the anxiety. So I think it's a mix of personal development and English development. But feedback, I think that it would be really hard to achieve the score you need if you don't get feedback. That's why feedback is one of the things that I do all the time with everybody I'm helping. Yeah, all the time. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. Okay, so when is your next test? When are you doing the test?
Next week. I have just 7 days to try to improve these mistakes or these opportunities. I don't know. I have to work hard this week.
Yeah. So don't work too hard. Okay. Don't work too hard. Okay. So my suggestion would be just maybe get one speaking test. Okay. Per day. Just look at one and then make sure you read it, okay? And then some things you can do, you can record yourself answering the question. Just record yourself answering the question. And when you hear with what I gave you today, you can create a checklist. Fabi told me to improve this, and this. And then when you can do the speaking by yourself, okay? And then you can listen to yourself and you can think. Okay, okay. I did this again. Oh no, I have to improve for next time. That's something you can do. Right? Okay. Any other questions for me?
No. I'm so grateful to be the one for today, and it is my pleasure to know you because I think I follow you. I don't know how many months ago, but I am looking in your profile all the time, the advices, and I watch your YouTube videos all the time. And I wrote you some weeks ago, some months ago, trying to get your yeah, but I never couldn't have a position in your group. Then that is a privilege today to do this training.
Yeah, I was away
with you
from Instagram for a few months. I was resting for a little bit. Yeah. Now I'm back. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So you see how many people are wishing you good luck. Good luck. You can do it.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, okay, cool. All right, guys, so how are you feeling? Sarah's feeling good now after the feedback? Yeah, guys, and exactly what she said, you know. So it's very, very important. And then did you hear what she said? I had no idea I was making those mistakes. Okay, and I am confident that she will be able to get the score. Okay, and guys, so and something else. One thing I did with Sarah, I don't think I checked, for example, everything that she did. Okay, I did get some specific points that are going to help her. Okay, so also if you guys are trying to improve, maybe don't try to improve everything at the same time, because it can be very hard. Okay, maybe just choose a few things and focus on those things, and when you got those things right, then you move on to the newer things, the other things that you're doing that are not very good. All right, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. Okay, all right, let me try this again. This is so cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. All right, see you around. Bye.